Hey Penn State fans, Max Ralph from PennLive here in Indianapolis, our second day here at the NFL Combine for the PennLive crew. This is a big one. Obviously, Abdul Carter, the top guy for Penn State in this draft, spoke to us this morning, bright and early, first thing 8 a.m. And then we got to linebacker Kobe King as well, a former Nittany Lions captain. Both guys really insightful. Gonna get into all the updates I've got for you here in this quick little recap, but I really appreciated the things that they all had to say. I thought Abdul was an interesting one. Of course, the big thing right out of the gates for him, he was asked about being the number 1 overall pick. He's just flown up draft boards lately. It kind of started out, it seemed like he would go top 10 probably, definitely top 15. Lately, I really don't think he's getting out of the top 5. I mean, I'm not a betting man, but if I was, I probably wouldn't even bet on him going out of the top 4. So he's been one of the most talked about prospects here so far in the first couple of days. A guy who teams are just really liking. And Abdul's been interesting too because he said straight up, I want to be the number 1 overall pick. It's something I've been working for. He was asked if he thinks it's realistic. He said, I think I'm the best player in the country right now. And the best player in the country should get picked number 1 overall. So, it's not a new thing. Abdul's always been a confident player, but certainly the confidence is showing through here at the NFL Combine. And another important thing, of course, he's still recovering from that shoulder injury that he suffered against Boise State in the Fiesta Bowl. He said he's at about 90% right now. He's not going to test this week at the Combine, won't do anything over at Lucas Oil Stadium, but he'll get back for Pro Day at Penn State at the end of March. Expects to be able to participate there and show off what he can do. But said he's about 90%. He's weighing 248 pounds right now. He said that's his goal weight. He's in a good spot with that. Obviously, depending on who drafts him, if they want him to look differently, he'll look different. But overall, it seems like good stuff. He said he'd recently been cleared to keep training at a high level again. 90%. So no testing this week. He will at Pro Day, but he's been a hot name. He confirmed a few of the teams that he'd been talking to already, that he'd met already. Of course, number 1 overall, Titans are in there. Browns at number 2 are there. The Patriots at 4. And really, I've spent a lot of time listening to those 3 teams, coaches, and GMs so far this week. And, I would probably bank on him going to one of those 3 teams. The Titans and the Browns both need quarterbacks. The Patriots are in a situation, obviously Drake May played pretty well toward the end of his rookie year, and so I'd say those 3 teams are probably my top for him right now, and I really, like I said, I don't think he's getting out of the top 5. So been interesting. I think Abdul did a good job with his interviews today. As soon as he got off of the podium with the big media group, he was being toted around everywhere. We had it all. Joe Hermit was following him around on Instagram, so if you missed what the crazy day was like for Abdul Carter, you can take a look at it there. But the last thing to hit with Abdul, he's unabashedly an Eagles fan. Of course, he's from Philly, and the Eagles won the Super Bowl, have the 32nd overall pick in the draft this year. They're not getting Abdul Carter. He acknowledged that he was a fan. He said he enjoyed this year watching the Super Bowl his last year as a true fan. And whenever he plays the Eagles, he promised that they're going to get his best. So who knows? Maybe someday down the line he could be an Eagle, but right now, probably out of the picture. To move on to Kobe King, Kobe's always been a really insightful player when he's been at Penn State. Obviously a captain for a lot of reasons, but he was a good listen today. A lot of the talk is going to be about his brother, Kalen, his twin, who left Penn State a year early, went to the draft last year, didn't really do very well at the Combine, ended up falling all the way to the 7th round, spent the year on the practice squad with the Packers, but Kobe's, he seemed determined to make sure that this was different. Like his situation is different than Kalen's. I think Kobe is also an interesting prospect because he's in the mid rounds right now in his projections, but being a bigger body linebacker like he is, he's really good against the run. I mean, there's been some buzz about his run defense tape already this year online. I just think he's going to be an interesting prospect and one who can improve his stock more than a lot of others this week at the Combine. He's supposed to test tomorrow on Thursday. If he runs a good 40, if he proves that he has a good shuttle time and he can move side to side across the field, for a guy as big and strong as he is, that could maybe change some teams' mind about moving him up, 15, 20, 25, 50 spots on their board even, it'll be really interesting. I think that Kobe is kind of sneaky athletic more than people think. Thought he put good tape out there this year. Obviously is a little more of a run defending linebacker than he is in the past, but he's got to prove that he can do that here and there too. But he talks about the reason he decided to go into the draft. He technically had another year of eligibility as well. He'd spent 4 at Penn State, but he did redshirt as a freshman. Kind of seemed like he already had his mind made up. He felt like he was mature enough to be out here. Felt like he put good tape. Felt like he had a good process that was pro-like. And he said that James Franklin and Dan Connor agreed with him in their pre-decision conversations. Said that, we think you're ready. We think you can be a pro. Kobe could have come back. Some people might think that there was some added reason for the decision, considering Tom Allen, the defensive coordinator, left for Clemson. But Kobe basically said he had already made up his mind before Tom had decided to leave, so not necessarily a concern there. I mean, Dan Connor would have been back as the linebackers coach again, but Kobe just seemed ready to leave. Seemed like he was confident that he could come out here, parlay himself into a draft pick, and go make some money in the NFL. And you know what? I think he could too. It's been interesting. Obviously, a guy in the mid-rounds like that is going to talk to a lot of different teams, but he got asked about a few specific ones of interest. Of course, the hometown Detroit Lions, being a Detroit guy. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers said he met with head coach Todd Bowles. Then the Las Vegas Raiders said he had a really good conversation with them, talking about how maybe football is going back to the old style of running backs and big-bodied linebackers, which if that's the case, that's a good thing for Kobe. So it'll be interesting to see how it works out. But that's it for me from day 2 here at the NFL Combine. Thursday, tomorrow in the morning, we're getting interviews with Tyler Warren, KJ Winston, and Jalen Reed. Noteworthy, Tyler Warren is also not going to participate in drills at the Combine here. Curious to see how much KJ Winston does after that season-ending injury, but at the very least, we're getting interviews with them tomorrow. Going to be a lot of fun, especially a guy like Winston, who we haven't heard from in quite a while. So curious to see how he's feeling, what his takeaways were from that year when he wasn't able to be on the field, and what this week can do for a guy like him who hasn't played in a while. So thanks for tuning in. Max Ralph, PennLive. Lots of Penn State updates coming.